Good morning, everyone. My name is Mackenzie Warford, father of a tree, and I also got the old ball and chain to go along with it. I am the owner of Papa's Farm, which is located in Burntberry, Newfoundland, which is a fun fact where I grew up. I was raised on these very fields where I bought land and was able to start building my business. I've built Newfoundland's first full year-round hydroponic greenhouse. And our goal is to grow lettuce all year round. When ferries stop running and the trucks can't run because of snowstorms during the winter, it is our goal and our mission to be able to grow produce from within the communities so we don't have to deal with the delivery problems. It's also going to reduce fuel emissions. It's going to increase the health of our province simply by the fact that we're going to be growing the produce that we should be eating here on the island all year round. And if you don't understand that, play it back and listen to it again. I've decided to start this YouTube page simply to try and help others understand how we do things around here, how I was taught to do things, how we try and regulate the heat, we regulate the cold, how we insulate our greenhouse through the winter, how we insulate it through the summer, and you know, what kind of crops we grow, what we're trying to grow, what we're trying to accomplish, and hopefully somewhere along the way you can pick up some of our knowledge we've come to figure out, and you can use it in your own personal life. Start your own greenhouses, you know, feed your family, or do something bigger and start your own commercial greenhouse, whatever the case may be. So we just want to show people, you know, how we got to where we are, what we're learning, and we continue to learn and grow, and that is why I've decided to start making these YouTube videos. And hopefully in some way it can help you, and we hope that people will be able to reach out to us and ask questions, and I'll do the best I can to answer them. Currently, right now, we are in the middle of construction. The heat this year was very excruciating, and we have come up with some new efficient ways to control that heat. And we're still in the middle of constructing them, so I'm gonna give you a brief tour of the complex, but I can't go into too much right now because we're still working all the kinks out, and we want to make sure we have it all worked out before we want to show people what we're doing, because we don't want people to get the wrong impression and go ahead and do something that's not worth their money. And that's the big factor here. We're building things that are efficient to operate and very efficient to buy, even for somebody starting up. So we'll show you the basic way that we made it from the start, and then we're going to invest in these materials to make it more of a option that you can buy it direct from us or Dave or myself, and that way you can control the heat in your greenhouse versus having to build one of these systems. We are quite fortunate to be starting these videos now because my light specialist, and he's also a greenhouse engineer as well. He tours across Canada and visits greenhouse operators such as myself, and you know, we sit down and we talk about things that we might be having troubles with, and his job is to fix those troubles. I know when I met him, before I met him, he was in Ontario and he helped the gentleman with a lighting issue, and that's how I've come to meet him, was with the lighting during the winter, where we only have 8 hours in Newfoundland during the longest part of the winter. We need some supplemental lighting. So during the summer, obviously, we get up to 18 hours some periods, and we don't need that supplemental lighting, but during the winter it's crucial to grow. So we've went with Dave Murdoch, LED Laser Lighting Solutions. I'll put his website in the description below, so that way you guys can find him too, and that way he can start helping you with your problems as well. So with every greenhouse, you have to make a choice in whether you're going to have a prefabricated greenhouse or if you're going to go and build yourself one. I wanted to get a prefabricated greenhouse, but it was late August when I got the chance to start building, and the prefab wouldn't have came till November. So, and I mean, that's what you get for ordering very late in the season. They have a lot of orders to fill, so I didn't expect to get a greenhouse. So I ended up, I had this sawmill before I decided to start the greenhouse, but it turned out to be a lifesaver in savings when it came to constructing my greenhouse out of wood. I may have ended up buying some of the 6x6 from a mill, but I had to use the sawmill, my personal one, to cut it down to 3x6 for my studs and rafters that I have running across the greenhouse. So the greenhouse is a 100 by 24 foot greenhouse. It's double poly right now, and it's hard to say what it actually is, because I don't want to call it double poly right yet, because we are in the middle of creating traps and barriers and such and fans, and we're really working with some different kind of science and technology to make it not just a double poly greenhouse, but it's going to be something of its own. So like I said before, we're going to try and make this option where you can buy this equipment to make your greenhouse basically what mine's going to be when it's done. It's going to be a Papa's Farm greenhouse. We plan on building more greenhouses, and it's really hard to say that I would like to go with a prefab, because working with wood, it just gives you some different options that you wouldn't have with a prefabricated greenhouse. And the harsh climate and weather here in Newfoundland, I know some people might think metal is stronger than wood, but sometimes wood can be a little more flexible depending on the type of wood you use. And I must say, this wooden structured greenhouse has been holding up very well in the winter. We've had one full year now in operation, and we have upgraded our greenhouse twice to make it more efficient. So we're hoping now that the last two upgrades that we're going to do will set us over the top in growing here in Newfoundland with the rough climate and rough weather. And what's new to us is the heat. So we're used to long, cold winters. Now we've been finding that the heat has been playing a factor, because right now it is probably the 20th. It is the 20th of September. And the sun is coming down on me now, and I can feel it burning the side of my face. And even though I'm wearing jeans, I can feel it burning through the side of my jeans too. So the same effect is going to happen in your greenhouse. So we're really going to we're adding a shade cloth for next year. But that isn't it. We're not just going to stop with the shade cloth, and we're not just going to add an air conditioning unit, because that just costs money. I have a custom geothermal system with 2,400 foot of weeping tile ran under the ground of this greenhouse. So we're using that now to heat during the winter and cool during the summer. And we have also come up with some new techniques that we're trying to use to cool it even more so. And that is the cool stuff that we're going to be doing here at Papa's Farm, that we need people to follow and learn from us, so that way you guys can do the same thing. And then that way it gives you guys a fighting chance. Anybody in the world, it gives you a fighting chance at growing produce all year round, because with the price of food right now, I don't understand how we're going to make it if we don't start growing our own produce. And hydroponic systems, mine is an NFT hydroponic system. It is very, very efficient. It recycles the water. You have to put in a bit of elbow grease when it comes time to cleaning, but there's also a bunch of things that you can do that can reduce the amount of cleaning that you had to physically do by hand. And that is some other stuff that me and Dave also work on. And Dave is a very excellent guide when it comes to that stuff. So just follow along. We'll show you what we got. I hope you can learn a thing or two. Send us some questions. We're going to try and put together complete how-to videos on how to build year-round hydroponic greenhouses. We're also going to be trying to integrate vertical growing, because that's something I'd like to get into. So yeah, follow us. We'll show you the way. We're hoping to have another greenhouse right where the sawmill is sitting there right now. I'm working on it very hard to get another greenhouse going here in this location and another location out to the east of me. And it's just gonna bring great pride to me and my family to be leading our country, leading our province in a direction that we need to go so that we can supply our food. We don't create enough food here on the island to supply ourselves through the winter. So we need to stop focusing on trying to grow enough in the summer to last during the winter. We need to focus on growing enough food during the winter to keep feeding ourselves during the winter. There's technology out there and I have seen it, and now I'm starting to experiment with it, and it's only going to get better as we learn and as we grow together. And that's why we need to make videos like these, so that people like myself and other people who are trying to make a difference for either their province or even their family, we can share the knowledge that we have obtained from the couple years that we've been doing this, and eventually we will all succeed together, because we need to grow as one, otherwise we won't succeed. Keeping the greenhouse blown up and insulated is a 135 CFM blower fan hooked up outside, which goes inside and connects to the two pockets of the greenhouse. The outside layer is sealed with wiggle wire bracket. We picked that up at our local distributor on the island. You can get it on Amazon, but we obviously want to support local on everything we do. Please don't mind a little bit of mess. We are in the middle of construction. Yeah, today and yesterday we were digging a trench. We're gonna lay some wire. We gotta lay some new wire in the ground. We got a jackhammer because we don't mess around. It's gonna be a little loud. You're gonna hear the fan of our first new prototype that we're working on. I gotta say it's working pretty good, but we'd like to see a little bit more suction from the trap that we're creating. So we've got to create a better trap, and my buddy Dave knows this, so he told me about it already, but I had to run it and try it anyway, because you know, what do? You got to try stuff, right? Right now our geothermal is hooked up right here. Dave is a licensed electrician too, and he's putting in a new sub box for us, which is excellent. He's a great man to work with, so anybody who's going to end up working with Dave Murdoch is going to get a good reward. The basic concept of our operation right now as an NFT operation is we have a main tank coming out of a main pump. Feeds a main line all the way down the entire length of the greenhouse, which comes off to water pressure valves, right? So we control the valve, which is hooked up to the spaghetti line, which then goes into the water channel. The water channel flows because all the tables are tilted, and it flows into the eaves trough, and the eaves trough is naturally tilted all the way down back to the main tank. And it's the same on both sides, so the process is the same. We run 1 liter per minute water through our water channels. All you have to do is get like a 1 liter bottle, take one of your spaghetti lines out, put it in the bottle, turn on the pressure valve to what you think is going to give you 1 liter a minute, time it. If it's not correct, adjust it. From there, we also have our geothermal system, which is run underground. Like I was telling you guys, it's 2,400 feet of I got an 8-inch manifold on both ends running 4-inch, and I got a 6-inch manifold on both ends running 4-inch pipe. It's a double layer grid. I'm gonna get into it a bit further in more of my videos, but right now I'm just trying to be really simple as a quick introductory video, because it needs to be done, otherwise I'll never start making the videos to show you guys. Because when you're engineering, nothing gets done without duct tape. Everything right now is wrapped in duct tape, because duct tape is also silver and it reflects the sun. So it's doing two things for us right now. I ended up getting the wrong kind of pipe for above ground. I don't know why. consider me crazy, but things happen when you're working absurd hours and trying to prove a point, and you know, things just get crazy and wild. Also, I wouldn't be a sport if I didn't support some more local talent. Right now, this is just my cover for my exhaust during the winter. Everything gets rearranged. During the summer, we actually have our geothermal system hooked up to the back of our furnace, which puts out about another 1,200 CFMs on top of our two 8-inch fans and 6-inch fans. During the winter, with our geothermal and the help of this beautiful Scotty Kerr wood furnace, which is forced air, we heat this entire greenhouse, and we were able to produce greens all throughout the winter. It's an amazing thing to walk in from 6 feet of snow and minus 20 to 15 degrees on a cold, crisp night when you've already had 4 hours of darkness, and you've got Dave's artificial lights or supplemental lights helping boost the plants, just as if the sun was up. And you got this beautiful Scotty Kerr wood furnace over there crackling away and blowing out that beautiful wood heat. There's nothing as warm as wood heat. Now, I know it creates moisture, but I tell you what, it is a beautiful machine to work with. She is amazing. At this moment, that wood furnace is used for heating and it's used for cooling. The geothermal is used for heating and for cooling. We're hoping to increase the efficiency of the geothermal system with some new techniques that we're coming up with as well. So it'll also be used for heating again, and once again, it's going to be used for cooling. But we've got some entirely new concepts that everybody is going to want to get their hands on. And if we can get it down pat right, you guys will have excellent ways to efficiently heat and cool your greenhouse during the winter and the summer. And that's what we need. Everybody needs to be able to access this equipment to heat and cool greenhouses during the winter and summer. I hope in our future videos you guys can reach out to us and we can help you out with any questions you have. And with some of our videos in the future, they're going to help you guys with growing and just see how we do it over here in Newfoundland. But right now, I got to go help my dog. He's tangled up and he is just begging to be helped. He's just begging to be helped. All right, guys, have a good one.